Tuesday night is a great night for drafting. What is going on? Man, we're getting so close to the start of the season. These drafts are going to be really important for you. I hope they have been so far. I hope they've been helpful. But we are here to answer your questions, do a PPR mock draft, and raise some money for St. Jude, baby. Make sure you hit that donate link. It's right at the top of the chat. And we welcome you. And I'm going to mute my computer. Sorry about that. But I'm going to make sure that that donate link is working. Yeah, we've raised 1.4 thousand. We want to raise 10K. So hit donate and be a part of our awesome draft-a-thon and this awesome cause of donating to St. Jude. Adam Azer, Tara Roberts, Heath Cummings, Jamie Eisenberg here. We are getting started with a 12-team full PPR mock draft. We start 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers, a tight end, and a flex, and there are 6 bench spots. So the first pick is in, and it is Jonathan Taylor. Let's see, what pick does everybody have? Jamie, Dave had the 2nd pick. Chris is up 3rd. Heath, you have the 4th pick. I have the 6th pick. Jamie, you have the 7th pick. I'm going to take all your players. And Tara, you have the 11th pick. All right, guys.
You realize that every other round, I can take your players.
No, there's a reversal. There's an even round reversal.
Yes, as the commissioner, I skip over your pick every time.
The happiest man in the draft room is Chris Towers getting his 101 with the 3rd pick in the draft.
I still don't understand how Derrick Henry goes to David too.
Why he took him?
Yeah.
He has McCaffrey 5, I think. He's just out on McCaffrey. This is a full PPR 1 quarterback league, right?
Yes.
Because I sometimes forget what the score
I
is.
just said it. You know, I mean, it was my intro was perfect.
I also sometimes don't listen to you.
All right, let's see. So Taylor, Henry, McCaffrey, and Eckler were the first pick. So do we have? Oh, can I get the draft board in there? There it is. All right, I'm going to put us at the bottom, and there's our draft board. And Thomas Schaefer, our producer, is going to update it for you live. And Cooper Kupp goes 5th. I'm sorry, I'm on the clock here. I'm taking too much time. So
this looks so good. I want to congratulate Thomas on the draft board and on also figuring out how to get us on the bottom. That looks sharp.
So I don't know who to pick here. I mean, I know who I want to pick. I think I'm going to go with Justin Jefferson. Actually, yep. I'm usually taking running back there. I've been taking running back a lot. It would have been Joe Mixon for me, but I'm going to see what happens if I go wide receiver. And here's why: because I actually really would love to get CeeDee Lamb or Devontae Adams in round 2 if I went with a running back in round 1. I don't think they're going to be there. Then I know what's going to happen. I'm not going to want to take Leonard Fournette there. I'm going to think that's too early. So then I'm going to take I'm not going to take Keenan Allen or Mike Evans there. It's going to be too early. I'm going to take 2 running backs. I'm going to hate my team. So I took Justin Jefferson. Jamie, who'd you take 7th?
Dalvin Cook.
All right. What's the format is the question. I'll just say it again in case anybody missed it. 12 teams and full PPR. Start 2 running backs, 3 receivers, only 1 quarterback, 1 tight end, 1 flex. There is your format. All right, you took Dalvin Cook over Joe Mixon, over Najee Harris. Why Cook over Najee Harris?
I love the Vikings this year. I really think they're going to put up a lot of points. I think that Dalvin will get back to finding the end zone. There is obviously a potential fear of him losing some work to Alexander Mattison or whoever the backup might be because of a different regime. But I still think that Dalvin is locked in as the featured guy. I think he can be a 2,000 total yard player. I think he'll be more involved in the passing game than we've seen before. So I struggle with Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon, and Najee Harris, that trio. And for me right now, Dalvin's ahead of him.
All right. Well, Jamar Chase went. You know what? Seeing 3 wide receivers in the first 8 picks, Heath, is a little unusual for our drafts. Not completely unusual, but I feel like I'm surprised that Chase went ahead of Najee and Mixon.
Yeah, I'm surprised about Mixon. I have Chase ahead of Najee, but I think it's kind of surprising that Chase went ahead of Kelsey, right?
A little.
They're right in the same range, I guess.
Yeah,
I like it though.
Been seeing Chase go up ahead of Kelsey in a lot of mock drafts that I've been doing.
Tara, what would you do after those first 5 picks, which was Taylor, Henry, McCaffrey, Eckler, Cooper Kupp? If you had the 6th or the 7th pick, what would you have done there?
Justin Jefferson, 100%. Yeah.
And then what would you have done in Jamie's 7th spot?
I would have gone Najee. It's awful close for me, but I am getting a little bit concerned because we did see a little bit. I think we saw one more game from Dalvin last year that he missed. Worried that it might be trending down a little bit. He is hitting that age, so lean towards the safety of Najee.
We have a comment here that says Tara is nice, and I was talking to Jamie off the air about that. It's like Tara is so nice, and she's a very good balance for me because when I do these live streams, I am just like insane. And you are the most poised person, and I love it. And I wonder, because I got really mad at my kids tonight a lot. Do you ever get mad? Like, do you yell in your house, Tara?
I'm pretty stern. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm a pretty stern parent. Look, I have 2 little boys that are 2 and 5, so I can't be I got to get.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel a lot better about myself now. I really do. I thought you were just like, no, I never yell. So I feel a lot better about myself. Thank you. All right, Rob Thomas with the swing picks, Travis Kelce and Alvin Kamara. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I really considered Kamara at 6. Jamie, I think you're the low guy on Kamara, but you like him at 13, right?
Yes. I don't know how low I am by comparison, but he is a first-round pick for me now.
I mean, why is he not a top 5 pick? Why is he not a slam dunk Alvin Kamara pick anymore? What's changed?
Mark Ingram there, more options in the passing game around him. So, there are mouths to feed that he's never had to contend with before, but he's still great.
And I think the percentage has shrunk and continues to shrink day by day. But somebody with access to that video could leak it at any time.
Okay. Not one team, through only 4 teams have picked in round 2. Nobody has started running back, and nobody has started wide receiver yet. We have a Kelce Kamara build, a Mixon Lamb build, Diggs, Swift, Najee, and Adams. Heath, do you have a favorite from those 4 teams who have taken 2?
Yeah, I like the Kelce Kamara team.
Quick question here, because Saquon Barkley is going to get drafted soon. What does the Giants' backfield look like if Saquon Barkley goes down? I have a hard time believing in Matt Breida. Yeah, you shouldn't. You should have a hard time.
It's a free agent, yet player to be named later.
I would say if it's anyone right now, it's Gary Brightwell. That's my guess.
Tyrod is the quarterback and Daniel Jones is the running back.
Might work out.
Is it Jameis Winston that makes Kamara drop?
Adam, you're on the clock.
Oh,
right?
I'm sorry. No, I don't. Sorry about that. Okay, I have Jefferson, and now I'll take Fournette. Yeah, I like that build a lot better. I like Jefferson and Fournette a lot better than, say, Joe Mixon and Mike Evans or Keenan Allen or something. So I think that worked out well. Now, if Fournette hadn't been there, I wouldn't have been. Oh, how about that? You took Barkley, Jamie.
I did.
So that helped me because I'd rather have Fournette than Barkley. I guess you're on the Barkley. I know you're considering moving him up even farther.
I did. I moved him ahead of Swift.
Me too.
The workload is undeniable, as the question just alluded to. There's nobody taking him off the field, and I think he's going to be, if not first on the team in receptions, certainly a close second. I don't even know who could be first. It could be Tony. It could be Wandale. It could be maybe Shepard if he's healthy. I doubt it's Galladay, but I mean, it wouldn't be a surprise if him and Aaron Jones are competing for their respective team leader in receptions, based on how the receiving corps looks like, and Barkley's in a much better spot from that standpoint than Aaron Jones is, which tells you something. So I think Barkley's role, his health. I do think that the quarterback is a significant concern. They have not looked good right now, but I'm expecting the offensive line to significantly improve by the middle of the season. So I think Barkley's got a chance to have a significant bounce back season. So I think you got to be aggressive if you want him, and I think this is a good spot to take in middle of round 2.
Big time riser for sure. All right, Mark Andrews goes to Heath. You have Eckler and Andrews. Chris takes McCaffrey and Evans. I think maybe I'm gonna get the draft room up just to show people who's available, and maybe that will help. So, Tara,
sorry, Thomas, I love your draft board.
It's a great draft. Isn't this great? It's so much better. Tara, since you're not picking again for another half hour, what are your impressions of round 2?
I think that I like the combination there by Heath of Eckler and Andrews. I think that was good value on Andrews. And other than that, I think all of the running backs are falling into a good place. Draft is shaping up pretty good. I love the combination that Jacob Gibbs there has with Stephon Diggs and DeAndre Swift. I know we've been a little bit concerned about DeAndre Swift in terms of maybe the workload for him and whether or not he's got the durability to be a true workhorse back. But I think it's a good combination there with Diggs, who's very stable in terms of his ability to finish as a wide receiver one and then take a little swing there with DeAndre Swift. So I like that combination.
Thomas Schaefer, if you could just go skip ahead to my pick and just put Cortland Sutton there, it's going to happen. I just wanted to let everybody know.
Did you tell Jamie the people? I don't think Jamie sees your tweets. He doesn't follow you. The people you took Cortland Sutton over in your draft today?
He doesn't follow me. I took Cortland Sutton in a half PPR best ball draft over Michael Pittman, T. Higgins, DJ Moore. Those are the headliners.
Oh.
What?
Chris just took DJ Moore one pick before me. Chris is
nearly had a perfect draft for you.
Yeah. Chris's team is a lot better than mine.
Yeah. Since I took Leonard Fournette, there have been 7 wide receivers and a tight end and not a running back. Who's the next? See, this is where I want to see who's the best running back available. Nick Chubb, Javonte Williams, James Conner, David Montgomery. Oh, Heath, just take Montgomery.
I'm not going to do that. I think I'm going to be moving Chris Godwin up a spot. So I'm going to go ahead and take him here. He participated in 7-on-7 for the first time. He's a second-round pick if he's 100%, and he's getting closer and closer to 100%.
Okay. All right, Sutton's still in play here.
I took him over Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, you did. And Sutton.
Well, yeah, Sutton was not. Cooks, Godwin, and Mike Williams were the 3 I was considering.
Okay. Nick Chubb is the pick. All right, so I'm on the clock. And here's what I'm looking at here, and I'll show you what
You're
James
taking Cortland Sutton.
Yeah, I'm probably taking Cortland Sutton. Yeah. Oh, Javonte Williams. How interesting. Now, I'm going to think here because I got 12 picks basically until my next pick. So looking at just running backs, if I could get Connor, Montgomery, Zeke, or Breece Hall in the next round, then I would take Sutton. But I don't think I can. So I know I'm going to like the wide receivers available to me that round.
You just get Jerry Jeudy.
I'm going to take Javonte Williams. I don't have a single Javonte Williams team. All right. Let's see what Jamie's going to do now. Jamie's team is Dalvin Cook and Saquon Barkley. So let's take a look at the available players for Jamie. Hide our mugs here. You just see the draft room. Jamie, what are you thinking? Oh, who'd you take? I'm sorry.
I took T. Higgins.
What did you think about the available running backs? Like, when do you think you're going to take your next running back, or do you just not know?
I mean, I went running back, so I was probably not going to go running back here. It'll be very challenging for me if Travis Etienne's still there in round 3, which I anticipate.
I'm sorry. 4. I think I read your team wrong. I'm sorry. I forgot you went running back. You went Cook, Barkley. My fault. Okay, so yeah, that changes things. Well, there's your draft board. All right, Tara, let's see. Tara has Mixon and Lamb. You're up in a few picks. What would you do if Kyle Pitts made it to you? He didn't. He just got Never mind. Kyle Pitts is off the board.
Late round 3 would be good, though. So that would have been a fine spot.
So if you want to just talk about tight end, Tara, I know you like Schultz a lot, but with your next 2 picks, either you take Kittle or Waller with one of your next 2 picks, which would be 35th or 38th, or you don't get a top 5 tight end, right? Is that kind of what you're thinking?
Yeah, and unfortunately for me, the break right there is at Kyle Pitts. I'm feeling more and more comfortable as I'm heading in there, especially as we're getting more of a look at Marcus Mariota, and we know that he actually has supported great tight ends in the past with Delaney Walker. So I am pretty comfortable with those first 3, but outside of that, I'm going to tend to skip over Waller and Waller and Kittle, and then wait a little bit later.
Okay. All right. So what are you going to do? You're on the clock. I'm sorry.
It's all right. going wide receiver here. I haven't drafted from the turn in a while. I've been getting early picks in mid round, around 7 or so. So it's a little interesting, but I really like the potential there of Brandon Cooks. There was a really good connection that he had there at the end of the season with Davis Mills, where he was averaging, I think, somewhere between 17 to 18 fantasy points per game. So I've got high expectations for him, and I think he's very solid option as a wide receiver too.
Great.
I'm so excited for what could happen in round 4.
Yeah, a lot of. What do you like about round 4?
I am so excited for it as well.
I'm gonna take Sutton. I know you're going to take Sutton right in front of me. Like, I know. That's fine. I don't blame you. It's a great pick. Oh, that sucks though. That's totally going to happen. Oh, I got to go. I don't even want to be around for that. Eric, can you please take him? Just like.
As long as you don't get him, I don't care.
That's not bad. All right, so we had Jalen Waddle go to end round 3.
It's too soon.
Oh, yeah, I guess I was just reading it. Wasn't even reacting.
But I struggle with him and Tyreek.
Yeah.
Like, I really think it might be a little closer between the two of them. But if it is, then neither one of them should go this early, maybe.
Right.
There goes Sutton. I was definitely about to pick him.
Oh, all right. As long as it wasn't Jamie. As long as it wasn't Jamie. I remember everybody watching right now. It is a 3-receiver league. So we're filling out our lineups here, and keep that in mind. 3 receivers plus a flex, and it's full PPR. Now, more importantly, hit that donate button, baby. Let's donate to St. Jude. We want to raise $10,000, not tonight, but at some point we want to raise $10,000. So you can hit that donate button and be part of it. Our draft-a-thon is going to be August 31st. Join us right here on youtube.com/fantasyfootball today. August 31st is the draft-a-thon, and that'll be from 6 p.m. until midnight, with the first 2 hours on HQ and the last 4 on YouTube. All right.
We have gone through a 20-pick stretch with only 3 running backs drafted.
Wow. Yeah, it's just wide receiver madness right now. Is that messing up your draft board a little bit, Jamie? Is it a bigger run on wide receivers than you thought? Because if you look at the 3 who just went, Sutton, Robinson, Williams, I know you would have been thrilled to get them with your 4th pick. How are you feeling about what's available?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to alter my plans, which were to take a wide receiver in the spot. So depending on what Thomas does, and Thomas made the decision easy for me. So it's going to be between Travis Etienne and Breece Hall. And then I'll just, start backfilling wide receiver with my next several picks.
Man, yeah, I mean, I hate myself for not taking Sutton, because I could have had Montgomery, Zeke, or Hall, or Etienne, Oh, and this is such a tough thing, because what do you do if you're up and you feel like you want to draft a certain position, but the best value is at another position? Like Jamie,
draft the best value.
Jamie, you're going to take a 3rd running back here in a 3-receiver league?
I also think this is the point where, like, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson should all be going.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Someone called you Health. Health is right. It'll be way closer than people think. So Hill and Waddle have 0 business this early.
Thank you. Fun stuff.
All right. Oh, God. David Montgomery and Ezekiel Elliott are on the board. Let's take a look at the available players here. And the best ones, according to Dave, are those 2, and then Josh Allen. Does feel a little early for those wide receivers. All right. What am I going to do? Not going to pass up those running backs.
David Montgomery.
Yeah, I'll take Montgomery. Thank you, Tara.
He's starting to make me nervous, more so than before.
But at that point,
Really?
you don't want him?
No, that's fine for him. I mean, but, just in general.
Why?
I mean, the offensive line bad. Now he's banged up. New regime.
Wow. So the top 4 players available on my board are all quarterbacks. There's 3 players picking before I pick again. I don't think 4 quarterbacks are going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and wait until next round to take one of them. The 5th player on my board is Darren Waller, and I've already got a tight end. So that's cool.
Now, would you have been in on this run of running backs? Hall, ETN, Montgomery, Zeke?
Would have taken Montgomery for sure. I'm going to take Deontay Johnson.
Wow.
This is one of the fun things about this job is like last year I was Mr. Devin Singletary. Now I hate him. Last year I hated Deontay Johnson. Now I'm the Deontay Johnson guy. It's fun. How you just live long enough to see yourself become the hero or the villain, one of the two.
Sarah, if you had a pick of Breece Hall, Travis Etienne, David Montgomery, Ezekiel Elliott, who would you have taken?
I'm not as concerned about David Montgomery as Jamie is, just because I believe that he is going to be seeing a little bit more work in the pass game, and I think that will kind of make up for the fact that that offensive line is shaky and the whole team situation is kind of an issue. But I consider him more of a upside from a workhorse perspective than Breece Hall. That had me a little bit concerned. We might have to wait a little bit on Breece Hall, so I'm leaning towards Montgomery.
We do have some questions in the chat. Ulysses wants to know who's a better keeper, Diggs in the second or Lamb in the third?
What's your pick?
Yeah, let's say it's at least 6 picks apart.
Lamb.
Okay.
Really close. Yeah, Lamb.
Yeah, Chris wanted that.
Chris takes Josh Allen. All right. This one is Kamara or Barkley. Who do you like in full PPR?
Kamara.
That's close.
Kamara.
Who are you keeping? John wants to know in a three receiver PPR league, 10 teams. Pitts in the 6th, Higgins in the 7th, Connor in the 15th. Pick 2.
Wow.
Higgins and Connor for me.
Yep.
Connor, yeah.
All right. Leonard Fournette that early? Wow. Did you guys think that was too early? That was, 19th overall?
No.
No.
Yeah, if he does what he did last year, he's basically a first-round pick, especially with the catches. All right, let's catch up here. Josh Allen, J.K. Dobbins. You want to see who the best available players are? These are Heath's rankings now. It's quarterbacks. Still have Waller and Kittle on the board. And running back, I don't know that we're going to see a lot of running backs go off the board right now for the next round and a half or so with Cam Akers, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Antonio Gibson. Let's see. I was using Dave's rankings earlier. We just sort it by running back. Josh Jacobs. Oh, A.J. Dillon will go. Waiting for Jack to make his picks. Takes Jerry Jeudy. And I'll go back to the draft board here in one moment. Okay. Jerry Jeudy is the last pick of round 4. I mean, that's a lot earlier than his ADP. And this is a 3-receiver league, and you can see Jack's team. Jonathan Taylor and 3 wide receivers. What do you think about Jerry Jeudy 48th?
It's a little soon, but not horrible. I mean, you start to get in the range of, the receivers who are still left. He's certainly in the conversation. I don't know if he's at the top of the conversation, but he's in the conversation.
Ooh, let's sneak a dynasty question in for Heath. What is Antonio Gibson's value?
Ooh, volatile.
Same as that letter on the screen.
I think
Same
he's
what?
The same as that letter on the screen.
it's about the same as his redraft value, honestly. There are a bunch of guys in that same area. Miles Sanders, Clyde, Akers, like guys that are number 2 running backs who could fall off the face of the earth. The whole running back position this year is just terrifying in Dynasty.
I want to talk about this last pick here. Jack taking Darren Waller, knowing that he's not picking again for 22 or 23 more picks. So he only has 1 running back. He could have taken A.J. Dillon. He could have taken Gibson, Jacobs, Miles Sanders, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Cam Akers, that group. He elected not to.
I think it's a great pick.
You think so? What do you like
of
about
those that group of running backs you were talking about? I think it's very likely one of them's there at the 5-6 turn, and the difference between Waller and what's there at the 5-6 turn is much bigger, in my opinion.
Okay, because you don't think Dalton Schultz will. Well, you don't think. I don't think Schultz will be there at the end of round 6, but I do think Hawkinson or Goddard will be there.
This is the point I hate because I do think quarterback's the right pick. It's just you guys are going to wait like 7 rounds to take another quarterback, and so my team's not going to look as good. But I'm doing this for the listeners and for the viewers, so I'm gonna make the right pick.
We appreciate you, Heath.
You're welcome.
That is Justin Herbert. Yeah, second quarterback off the board.
What is Adam going to do? I'm so curious.
Yeah, me too. Because I would love to take Patrick Mahomes here, but I'm not. I mean, I need a wide receiver. Jamie? How could you and I go another round without a wide receiver when we have to start 3?
I mean, it's hard to pass up George Kittle here.
I think he's got. You asked me for some busts. He's going to be one of them.
Yeah, a little bit concerned there.
Oh God, I hate these receivers. Can I have Sutton? I actually think I'm okay with DK Metcalf at this point. He's a great player. He's going to be fine.
You're choosing DK Metcalf with Drew Lock over Patrick Mahomes.
I have to start 3 guys. I have to.
Oh.
I only have 1.
Like,
Well,
folks, don't do this.
No, because it's not choosing Metcalf over.
You just
Mahomes.
chose Metcalf over Patrick Mahomes.
I didn't do it yet. Now I did. It's not choosing Metcalf over Mahomes. It's choosing Metcalf and Russell Wilson over Mahomes and
George Pickens.
Drake London.
Mahomes and George Pickens.
Mahomes and George Pickens? No, thank you. Over Metcalf and Wilson? No way.
100%,
Come on.
100%.
Schaefer, do you know how to do a YouTube poll? Because I don't. But if you know how to make a YouTube poll, I would love people to vote on that. Would you rather have Russell Wilson and DK Metcalf or Patrick Mahomes and George Pickens? I am so confident that that the Wilson side is going to win by at least 80%. Jamie, what are you doing here with your pick? You have 1 wide receiver and 3 running backs through 4 rounds.
I took Juju.
Okay.
It's like taking Mahomes, but not taking Mahomes.
Yeah, and I wanted to get a share of Geno Smith.
Great pick, Dan.
There's Mahomes. All right, here's a question.
Dan also only 1 wide receiver through the first 5 rounds.
Oh, good. I get to crap on his team. Sean wants to know, how do you all feel about Juju Smith-Schuster? I think he's going to be a PPR monster this year.
Yeah, very excited.
Yeah.
I think he's right now the clear number 1. Hope he can stay healthy.
Now, things have changed since the start of training camp, right? Because I don't think we were excited about him in round 5. Maybe Heath was. But as a collective, I don't think we were excited about him in round 5 a month ago. Is that accurate?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm distracted. I'm trying to figure out what I'm doing here.
Oh, hey, by the way, while Tara figures it out, see that QR code? That's our eBay store. You can get a spot on our show. You can be a guest on our show. You can be in our podcast league. You can get a pre-draft call with Dave, Jamie, Heath, and I think Tara's on there too. So many fantasy analysts. Go to our eBay store, and we'll throw a link in the YouTube chat as well for our eBay store. All right, let's take a look at Tara's team. Did you make your pick, or we're live? Oh, Tara just made her pick.
I did,
Josh
reluctantly.
Okay. So we'll go back to the draft board there. All right, so talk about that pick. You took Josh Jacobs, your second running back, to go with Joe Mixon, Lamb, Cooks, and Allen Robinson.
Yeah, it was tough. I figured between that grouping, there would be a lot of, between Cam Akers, Josh Jacobs, CEH, Antonio Gibson, they were all probably going to be there when I came around the turn. I'm going to trust that the offense, again, is going to be better there in Vegas. They're going to have an increase of goal line opportunities for Josh Jacobs, and what he might lose within the pass game a little bit, as we've heard that Amir Abdullah might be taking over that role a little bit, is going to be increased by the amount of opportunities he's going to have at the goal line. So I'm going to go there as a little bit safer of a pick.
All right, Jamie, you talk for a second here because I am making a YouTube poll and I'm just going to crush Heath. So
Robert just took Amon-Ra St. Brown after Josh Jacobs went off the board. I feel a little bit better about him after watching the first preseason game. Just seeing his involvement early. Now, obviously no Jameson Williams, but Tara, I don't know if you feel the same way just after seeing how you're on the clock. I won't bother you. Heath, I don't know if you feel the same way about St. Brown, that a little bit more encouraged, at least, by how he performed.
Yep, I gave him a little boost up as well, and I think this the round 5-6 turn is a perfect place for him. It kind of goes with my concern about the running back targets in Detroit. If they're going to throw more to their wide receivers, that's going to be good for St. Brown.
I almost clicked the wrong thing in the poll. I almost selected Mahomes and Pickens, but right now Mahomes and Pickens is winning 62% to 38%. That you guys are trolling me. There's no way anybody actually believes.
In my projections, I literally have Mahomes and Pickens projected for more fantasy points than Wilson and Metcalf. I think maybe when you put Wilson and Metcalf together, you thought they were still playing together. They're not.
Okay, that is my fault. I'm sorry about that. Tara took Elijah Moore, and we still have just 4 quarterbacks off the board. Wow, we still have George Kittle available in round 6. That is wild. Kelsey, I want someone else to take him so I don't have to. Kelsey, Andrews, Pitts, and Waller off.
Who's on the clock?
Jacob?
Thomas should take him.
Oh, Jacob took Cam Akers. Thomas, I can't believe how you're making. Oh, he took Kittle. You're making Schaefer draft and do the draft board. That's so mean, Jimmy.
He volunteered.
That's because he's a nice guy. Don't take
I think
advantage of him.
he's just maybe better at multitasking than you are.
Is he a human being? Then yes, he's better at multitasking than I am. Our eBay link is in the YouTube chat. You can scan the QR code. Some great stuff on there. Remember, we're trying to raise money for St. Jude, so please be a part of that. Please donate here. And we are now at 54% for Mahomes and Pickens compared to 46% for Wilson and Metcalf. I mean, Jamie, I truly cannot understand any logic in taking Mahomes and Pickens over Wilson and Metcalf. Am I crazy here?
No, you're not crazy.
So everyone else is crazy, right?
Preseason hype.
I wonder what percentage of people are voting for Mahomes and Pickens.
Yes.
Just because you're on the other side.
I think at least 30%, at least 50% of that vote is against it. You suck, Jamie. I really I hate you.
You can blame Thomas because I was hoping George Kittle fell one more spot because I knew that Dan had Kyle Pitts.
All right, yeah. All right, so let's see. I think I'm still going to go wide receiver here.
You should just take another running back, Adam.
I think I'm okay there. Yeah, we are really at a break.
Imagine if you'd taken Cortland Sutton in round 3.
Yeah, I'm fine. I like my team. I have a great team. My team rocks. Now I have the number 1 Packers wide receiver, Alan Lazard, 67.
Your team is good. You got the second best Broncos running back and maybe the second best Bears running back.
Are we up to round 6 on Lazard now?
I would take him round 6. He was going to be my other choice.
Okay. I'm still buying on him.
I don't forget, Jamie, I have the number 2 Seahawks receiver also.
That's true. Well, you heard what Aaron Rodgers said today, right? About his receiver?
No,
he said Lazard is his slot receiver. Or I think he said, maybe he said Cobb is a slot receiver. But he said Lazard was the first name he listed. And then he said Cobb. And then he said Sammy Watkins. And then he said the rest of it will just figure itself out.
That's interesting.
Apparently, he had a talk with the rookies about how the stuff they've put on film isn't good enough yet.
Drake, really? Well, for Watson, yeah. I get that.
I'm pretty happy to get Clyde there.
All right, that's what your second running back. So Eckler in round 1, Clyde in round 6. And in between, Mark Andrews, Chris Godwin, Deontay Johnson, and Justin Herbert. I'm going to say something. The nicest thing I've ever said. Everyone has a good team. Everyone's doing a great job tonight. I feel that. Except for Schneier.
Dave's team, man, the quads on that team. Derrick Henry, J.K. Dobbins, and A.J. Dillon.
It's quaddy. Let's see. So did Chris pick yet?
No, I'm sure Chris will auto pick and then he'll say it's fine.
He's got 8 seconds to prove JB wrong. Let's go, Chris. Prove JB wrong. Make it happen, buddy. 1. Auto pick.
I know my colleagues.
Oh, no. That's Robert Woods. Yeah, that's fine.
He'll be fine with it.
I mean, Heath, if Robert Woods is going around 6, I'm fine with Alan Lazard going around 6.
Oh my gosh. There's so much wrong with that statement.
No, as in nothing.
Robert Woods has been a year after year high-end number 2 wide receiver.
Hey, I have a question. Does fantasy I have never actually played fantasy football before. Is it just you get the previous year's production? Because I've been doing this all wrong.
Yeah, you're definitely right. We should just draft 28-year-old wide receivers who have like a career high of 500 yards, and that's probably going to be the same thing as the guy. What they've done in the past doesn't matter at all.
No, we should draft a 29-year-old guy coming off the torn ACL.
Alan Lazard.
Can we please kick this guy out of the room? I do love.
Thank you, Fun Sack.
This is some great Adam and Heath moments here. By the way, let's check it on the poll. Oh, we got a sign. Russell Wilson and Metcalf pull ahead, 51% to 49%. All right, hooray! All right, Miles Sanders goes. So. Let's see. You know what? I'm surprised. I think Chris is going to take Hawkinson in the next round, by the way, Dave. So if you want Hawkinson, you better take him now. We have 6 tight ends off the board. So let's see. Oh, did any of that group make it back to Jack? Any of that running back group?
Yeah.
Gibson did. Kareem Hunt. He took Kareem Hunt and Jalen Hurts.
Did he? Okay.
I don't know. Are we keeping that?
I don't even know what to make of Jack's team anymore.
We fine pick.
Who does Jack have here?
I like it. I think that's a good turn, Jalen Hurts.
I agree. I don't know. Problem.
Yeah.
It's just so funny, man. The Antonio Gibson slide.
Yeah.
This is the second person who's asked if I'm wearing pants today.
I'm going to buy the dip.
On
7, Antonio Gibson.
So Cam Akers is off the. So yeah, Jacobs. And this is why they call it the dead zone, right? A lot of question marks. Jacobs, Akers, Clyde, Miles Sanders, Kareem Hunt, Antonio Gibson. Tara, you started that run with Jacobs. So then it was Akers, Clyde, Sanders, Kareem Hunt, Antonio Gibson. Your thoughts overall on this group?
Yeah, I think that order makes sense. It's crazy how the slide for Antonio Gibson is going hard and fast. I mean, how high did we see him going in mocks just a few weeks ago? Kind of ridiculous. But the concern is real from what we've seen. I mean, it's kind of a weird situation where even if he does split with Brian Robinson, it's not going to be the same situation of looking at a split like Chubb and Hunt or a split like Aaron Jones and A.J. Dillon, because we've got the factor of J.D. McKissick being in there as well. So it's a very messy backfield. And so that's one that I'm just would be avoiding as a whole.
One thing that I think people forget on draft day is how different your team's going to look after just a few weeks and certainly at the end of the year. So I'm going to take DeAndre Hopkins here and just, he's a bench player for me. I already have 3 wide. I already have my starting lineup except for my quarterbacks and my tight end. So it felt like a good time to take DeAndre Hopkins in middle round 7. All right, Jamie, you have still just 2 wide receivers here. You have 3 running backs, a tight end, and 2 wide receivers. Starting to see some quarterbacks come off the board. We've had 3 in the last 17 picks: Jackson, Hurts, and Murray. And you go with Christian Kirk. All right. Let's see what Schneier does. Schneier has only 2. He has a quarterback and a tight end. He took a quarterback and a tight end with his first 5 picks, and within his first 5 picks. So he has 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers to go along with them. And we'll check out his pick. All right. Any more questions, please fire away. And I think I can get rid of this poll at this point.
May have had some DK Metcalf news. Drew Lock going to miss Thursday's game with COVID.
Yeah.
May impact
I think he was expected to start, too.
What's that?
I think he initially was expected to start.
Yep.
I haven't seen a lot of donations, so if anybody wants to donate, please do. Support our Draft-a-thon. It all goes to St. Jude. Oh, Damian Pierce. Kadarius Toney and Damian Pierce, back-to-back Gators.
Great round.
What do you think about Damian Pierce there to Shafee T, his second running back, as he has 4 receivers, a tight end, 2 excuse me. Okay. Anyway, what do you think about Dameon Pierce going there?
I like it. I considered it.
I love it. I had him queued up.
I want to see the other running backs who were available. There's Dave's rankings. Elijah Mitchell, Patriots guys, Seahawks guys, Bills guys, Tony Pollard. All right, taking Dameon Pierce ahead of them. That was 81st overall, I believe.
I think Edmonds is the only one I had ranked ahead of him that was still available.
Boy, the Dolphins running back situation. Talk about I don't really feel like I have a grip on that. Tara, do you feel like you know what the Dolphins are doing at
You
running back?
always ask her when she's on the clock.
Oh, Heath, do you know what the Dolphins are doing?
I think Chase Edmonds is going to be their best running back if he's healthy. Other than that, like I would my current take on the situation is that Edmonds and Mostert split early downs. Edmonds does most of the passing downs work. If something happens to Mostert, then Sony Michel takes his job, and if something happens to Edmonds, then Myles Gaskin takes his job if he's still on the team.
Does it feel a little crazy to take Dameon Pierce over Elijah Mitchell?
No.
No, I don't think so.
If Elijah Mitchell wasn't missing the rest of the preseason because of a soft tissue issue, then yes, but no. With the tissue issue, I'm okay with it.
All right, how about that turn from Rob Thomas? He takes Elijah Mitchell at the end of round 7 and into round 8 is Ramondre Stevenson. So
I did not take Elijah Mitchell.
What'd you say?
He took Chase Edmonds and
Okay. All right, there we go. Correct. Chase Edmonds and Ramondre Stevenson. So that means Stevenson goes ahead of Damian Harris. Sarah, you're on the clock. What do you think about that?
I approve of it. It's weird. I do think that the upside is with Ramondre Stevenson. They're super close right there. So if you want to go with the upside, I agree. I'm sitting here and
Reset the clock. Reset the clock. All right, let's talk about Tara's team. I'm gonna post it here. Brady, Mixon, and Jacobs. 4 receivers: Lamb, Cooks, Robinson, and Elijah Moore. You always have a very solid team. You do a great job. No tight end at the moment. We still have Hawkinson on the board. Pretty late.
Yeah, and I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna take Hawkinson. I've been avoiding Hawkinson like the plague, but there's only so far that he can drop there. And when I consider the fact that I'm at the turn and I'm gonna have to wait a while to come back around, I liked him right there better than the other options in terms of running backs on the board.
All right. So Hawkinson goes. Matthew Stafford. That's a little earlier than I thought. You still have Trey Lance. We still have, let's see, the quarterbacks. Russell Wilson, Dak Prescott, Joe. Oh, you know what's annoying? It's like I just love Lance so much, but yeah. So you just wait. You just wait. No need to rush to take the quarterback. Elijah Mitchell is the pick to Schaefer. Great pick, Schaefer. So those are some pretty good RB 2 and 3s right there in round 7 and 8. Dameon Pierce and Elijah Mitchell to go with Najee Harris, 4 wide receivers, and George Kittle. Dan Schneider takes Brandon Ayuk.
That was the guy I wanted.
Heath, you asked about taking Lazard in the 6th round. In this format, 3 receivers PPR. Don't you just expect at some point wide receivers are just going to go way ahead of their ADP?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't draft them way ahead of their ADP. I just usually have 3 by this point. This is an uncomfortable situation for me, but there are still a couple of guys that I have in the Lazard range that are available right now, so I'm okay with it.
Okay. I'm going to take Tony Pollard here over the Seahawks guys, ahead of Damian Harris. We know what this pick is. I really don't think he's going to be too valuable without a Zeke injury, but we know. I
don't agree with you, though.
You don't think so?
No, I think he's going to be heavily involved in the passing game. Their receiving core, as Tara alluded to, is struggling right now.
How many times is a running back heavily involved in the passing game when he's, when they say they're going to use him as the slot receiver? He really needs to be on the field as a running back, in my opinion, to be heavily involved in the passing game. Jamie, what do you think?
I mean, yes, he has more value if he's not playing in the wide receiver position to some degree. It just depends on the team and the play caller and what that player tends to do or should have the opportunity to do. But, I mean, we saw last year that, especially when Zeke had the knee problem, that he was being used as a primary runner. And then now if you keep him in that same role and now you throw him the ball 3 to 4 times a game, he could just be so explosive. So I don't think it's necessarily he needs an injury to be successful.
Let's see. Yeah, Adam Pollard is going to be on the field with Zeke. I just don't. What does that look
Aaron
like?
Jones.
Oh, don't what?
No, Aaron Jones is the answer to the guy who's done that, right? When Adams has been out, and they've just played Jones and Dillon on the field together.
I don't know how much they did that, honestly. It happened for sure. I don't know how much they did that. I don't know how much he's going to be on the field with Zeke. That's what they say, but I don't know. I have my doubts. Sky Moore, Rashad Penny, Tyler Lockett, Hunter Renfrow. Nobody really likes Lockett this year. A few months ago, I brought this up, Tara. Lockett had a year, 2 years ago, where his ADOT was much lower and his catches went way up. He was a completely different wide receiver. He wasn't just catching deep balls, and he was a PPR stud. I think he was wide receiver 12 or 10 or something like that in PPR. I think he had 100 catches. I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but he did show that ability to play a different role. And, he goes, he went 3 full rounds after DK Metcalf. What do you think about Tyler Lockett?
I think it's a volatility issue with him. And again, very dependent on the quarterback situation. I think maybe if Drew Lock starts, maybe it might be a little bit better for Tyler Lockett. But when we look at Tyler Lockett in combination of Geno Smith last year, again, it was extremely boom bust. He had, as low as, 3 points per game, as high as upper 20s. So you get highly concerned that he's going to be incredibly inconsistent. And so can you trust a guy like that, or knowing when he's going to be able to hit and you can put him into your lineup? I think he gets stuck on your bench and he's just going off on your bench. So I understand why he's dropping a lot because of that situation and volatility.
Heath, are you just going to start Tyler Lockett this year?
Oh, I was going to say I'm just going to eat those 2s and those 3s, and then I'm going to eat those W's in other weeks.
Well, I mean, Heath, the really interesting pick for me on your team was Antonio Gibson. Look, it's not like there was a great wide receiver on the board. You got Lockett in the next round, but you have Godwin, Deontay Johnson, and Lockett in a 3-receiver PPR league. How are you feeling about your team right now?
Well, I've got my number 2 quarterback and my number 2 tight end and my number 3 running back. So listen, I think it may come down to how soon we get Godwin at 100%, but I kind of feel like, especially with Clyde as my running back 2, I wanted to take one more shot at high-end RB2 production. One of those 2 guys hits, and if I've got Herbert, Andrews, and a good number 1 and a good number 2 running back, I'm not going to worry too much about my receivers.
This is one of the more balanced drafts I've seen. There's like not one team really that's like jumping off the page.
I like team 6 a lot. JK. I'm
going to take another running back because I don't think this guy should still be there. So I'm going to take Melvin Gordon now as well.
Okay. I'm trying to see if there's a team that I really like or dislike. No, I don't think so. I think it's a really good draft.
It's hard to evaluate Team 6 until they have a quarterback and a tight end.
That's a good point. They're about to have a quarterback, I have a feeling.
Yeah.
Probably 2.
I'm definitely going to have 2. Am I on the clock?
No, you're on.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I agree with this. Adam's team is legitimately the best team there. When you draft DK Metcalf, I think Seahawks fan is going to say that about that team. Seahawks fan, you must be joking. No, he's not joking. Why would that be a joke? I love when Jamie laughs at Adam. It's hilarious. Well, you should be on our group texts. All right, let's see. I am on the clock now. And the last pick was James Robinson. Here are the best players. Dak Prescott. I have 4 running backs. I'm not taking another one. So it's Trey Lance time, baby.
You
Over Dak.
Yeah, that's right, Jamie.
Over Dak.
100% over Dak Prescott.
Wow.
Dak Prescott put, instead of an S in his name, I'm going to spell it Prezzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzzz
Like if we need him on here to do his mystery box, Trey Lance could be anything. He could even be Dak Prescott.
Yeah, I'm just, look, I'm going to take another quarterback, and it's probably going to be someone like Cousins or Carr, and they could be Dak Prescott. So that's why I went with Lance, who I think.
No.
Yes. I don't really like. I just don't really. I don't know, man. I mean, the argument for Prescott is that 3 years ago, he was the number 2 quarterback in fantasy, and that was with Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup as his top 2 receiver. The year after that, he was throwing 50 times a game, but he was insane. I get that, but yeah, I don't know. Like Lance definitely has more upside than Dak.
That is no.
Yes.
You could possibly make the argument that Lance has more upside. You cannot say Lance definitely has more upside than Dak.
He could rush for 1,000 yards. He has more upside. Do I have to do another poll?
The last one was so definitive.
Yeah, the last I checked, it was 50-50, by the way. Jamie was going to take Trey Lance over Dak. Remember, Heath, if I could only take one quarterback, I'd probably take Dak over Lance. But the fact that it's so deep, and that if Lance hits his downside, you can pivot to someone else, that changes the game for me.
It's okay.
Yeah, I know. Thank you.
I mean, it's absurd, but it's okay.
No, I would agree with that. I mean, the potential difference between what you'd be getting with Dak and then maybe someone that you can take later, like a Kirk Cousins or a Aaron Rodgers, it's not that big of a difference to where you can justify that he had to go above Trey Lance. So I get it.
I do think that there is something to the fact that you are like, there's another roster spot that you could take another backup running back that could turn into a top 20 running back instead of taking another quarterback.
Yeah.
Like you kind of have to take a second quarterback now.
Yeah, probably, but I was going to do it anyway because, I don't want you guys to have another potential breakout quarterback. I want to keep that guy away from the rest of the league.
Oh, Dan saved me. Thank you.
Jamie's going to piss me off right now, isn't he? Oh, he didn't. Okay, good. I'm going to take Zach Ertz and get my tight end.
No, I have Schultz. Why would I take Ertz?
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot about that. That's right. You screwed me with one tight end. All right, so how about?
But I didn't want to take Devin Singletary and Dan.
No, I did not. I didn't take Ken Walker, did I?
No.
I took Zach Ertz. The next pick after that was Ken Walker, Shafee T. All right, so let's look at the running backs in this round here in round 10. Patterson, Gainwell, Singletary, Brian Robinson, and Ken Walker. Rashad Penny went 2 rounds earlier. But Tara, your thoughts on Patterson, Gainwell, who you picked, Singletary, Robinson, and Ken Walker?
The reason I went with Gainwell there, and there's a lot of interesting options on the board with Brian Robinson, who, again, we've seen that he may get a little bit more of the workload if Gibson keeps fumbling. Ken Walker as well with the injury risk to Rashad Penny. But the reason I took Gainwell for me is that when we look at last year, his usage was pretty inconsistent, but we did see 5 touchdowns on the ground, which is kind of crazy to say in comparison to Miles Sanders, who had 0. So I think there's the potential there for him to maybe, if he gets some of those touches on the ground that can result in touchdowns, combined with the pass catching ability as well, Gainwell could have a little bit higher upside, and he's a good handcuff as well, should Sanders get bit by the injury bug, which tends to happen. So it's a lot of interesting options here. I think they were all taken at a pretty appropriate spot.
I was very upset with you, by the way. I wanted you. Good pick.
Heath, have you seen Home Alone?
Yes.
Heath, your wide receivers. Woof.
Is that a quote?
That's Buzz, your girlfriend.
Iconic
Woof.
quote.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I know like what Chris Godwin and Deontay Johnson and Tyler Lockett have done in the past don't mean anything, so it's tough to evaluate them. But I feel pretty okay about it, really.
Question from Andy: why is Joe Burrow falling so far? I was surprised to see Cousins ahead of him, but nobody else really. Actually, Stafford. I was surprised to see Stafford ahead of him. Of course, look, your question is very valid because there it goes, Joe Burrow. He's quarterback 6 or something like that in Fantasy Pros ADP, and NFC is the same thing. Just if you're new to our show, we like Joe Burrow just fine. We're going to have a bust episode tomorrow. He's going to be on there because we just don't think he should be drafted as a top 5 or 6 quarterback.
No, he's on my bust list, and I do still have him ranked ahead of Trey Lance, though.
Right. If I could only draft one quarterback, I'd draft Burrow over Lance. But
let's see.
All right, what are you going to do, Heath? Let's take a
Jack
look.
wants us to talk about his turn there.
All right. Let's take a look at Heath's team first. Sorry. Heath just picked. Who'd you pick?
Rondale Moore.
Okay. So Heath has Herbert and Andrews, Eckler and Clyde, Godwin, Deontay, Lockett. Flex right now is Gibson, and the bench is Melvin Gordon, Rondale Moore, Garrett Wilson. All right. It's good. Very good. There's a look at it. Okay, let's talk about that. Michael Gallup and Jalen Turnbull. That is an interesting turn there in rounds 10 and 11. Jamie, what do you think about it?
I mean, look, at this point in the draft, you're getting a potential, high-end number 3 receiver if one of them hit. I don't think they're going to necessarily work well together because, if they're both playing well, I don't know if CeeDee Lamb does what he's supposed to do and Dalton Schultz does what he's supposed to do. But, I mean, if Gallup's out for a significant portion of the season, then you maybe just hope that they pass the torch to the other. Tolbert gets off to a good start, and then Gallup takes over for him.
I like the combination. I think it's interesting because even when Gallup comes back, I think Tolbert is going to be able to establish himself through this preseason and through the first several weeks of the season before Gallup comes back as that guy who's going to stick around as the third option. And technically, if you think back to it, that was Michael Gallup last year, and he was a usable asset. So in theory, if everything was relatively the same as last year, we're looking at the number 2 and 3 receiver for Dallas. So I don't think it's a bad option to go with at this point at the 10-11 turn.
Jamie, I don't know if you saw the email from a listener who's a Vikings fan who doesn't seem to think Madison is guaranteed to be the number 2 running back there. That they like Kenny Nwangu and somebody else. Any thoughts on that?
I mean, it's certainly something to keep an eye on, but until I see Alexander Madison replaced, I think you got to draft him as the number 2 guy there in Minnesota as the handcuff to Cook.
Okay. Oh, Cole Kmet goes here. So is that what, 11 or 12 tight ends? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 tight ends? That's it. I probably counted that wrong. Anyway, those are the tight ends. Any questions here? The Rod Father wants to know, who do you rank higher, Dameon Pierce or Ramondre Stevenson?
Pierce.
Yeah, Pierce.
How do you feel about this lineup? Kamara, Cook, Higgins, Robinson, and Juju.
Very good.
I mean, it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's good. A little risky at quarterback, but yeah. Or at running back, but yeah, good.
Have you come around on Dameon Pierce, Adam? Or are you still skeptical?
No, I've come around. Yeah. I am skeptical. Look, he ran against Saints backups, but I'm not skeptical that he's going to win the job. I think that it's going to be almost immediate. I'm skeptical that he's going to be the third down back, but he looked a lot better than I thought he would. I'd like to see him against some starters. I'm definitely higher on him than I was a week ago. I want to see how you couldn't be. And I don't really care that much that he's on the Texans. They could be, I don't know, 23rd in scoring or something like that. And
It could be as good as the Lions.
As long as as long as they're not miserable, because you're not taking him in the first 4 or 5 rounds, so that doesn't really bother me. Michael Carter and Tyler Algier. Are we still drafting? I mean, we were linking Pearson Algier for so long. They can be the starter. Well, obviously not anymore, but what do you think about Algier?
I think this is the right range for him.
I think he has a bigger mountain to climb than Dameon Pierce did. He could still get to the top of it, but I think it's going to take him longer.
Is that the
Sarah's on the clock, so you should ask her what she thinks.
Oh yeah,
I'm off now. I don't feel like we've heard enough about Algier in terms of him carving out a significant role over there. I think there's a lot more focus on the quarterbacks, and I think there's a big gap right there. So Algier is someone that I'm looking at in the back half. I don't feel super comfortable with yet.
So it's his backup running back time here. Rob at the 12 pick has a pretty interesting team. He has 6 running backs. You only need to start 2. But he still has Lamar Jackson, Travis Kelce. He went running back heavy, but they were, his last 3 picks were all running backs. He still has an elite quarterback, the best tight end, Kamara, Waddle, Sutton, Amon-Ra St. Brown. I have a feeling if we were drafting at that spot, we would have taken different wide receivers, except for maybe Sutton. But I don't know, man. That's a pretty good team he's got there. And there's enough running backs where he's thrown enough darts, one of them might stick. I'm sorry, I'm on the clock. Jamie, you want to talk about that team?
Yeah, I agree. I think the strategy is sound. I don't love Waddle in round 3, but I think, if that's who else was available there.
Robinson.
Yeah, so you put Robinson in that spot, Michael Thomas in that spot. I think either one, to me, makes that team a little bit better. And then
Michael Thomas was not available.
Oh, okay. But yeah,
Robinson,
if you have
Williams, McLaurin.
Michael Thomas not available then?
Not where
He
Waddle
went in round 3.
Oh, he went right in. I'm sorry.
He went 3 picks.
Yeah, so Robinson, Williams, any of those guys, yeah, I think it's a little bit better, more higher upside roster, but I have no problem with it.
Now, Jamie, you just took your first quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, in round 12. And do you feel like you will draft another one?
I would have taken either one of the 2 guys that went next, but probably not now in this format.
Is that because you feel like who do you think will be on waivers just in case you need to dip into that?
Well, I mean, we now have 1, 2, 3, 4 managers that have taken 2 quarterbacks. I'm probably going to guess that's the max. I don't know how many people are going to take Lawrence, Winston, or Tua. So I imagine, or all 3 of those guys, I should say. I'm sure one of those guys will be available. So if I had to pivot to one of them, that would be my next choice.
Sarah, Mike Gesicki just went. Chris often waits on tight end. I see him take Alberto, I think, a lot as well. Who are some tight ends that are still available that you would consider here? And what do you think about Gesicki having played with all of the backups basically in that preseason game?
I'm not concerned about that just because from what I heard, that was more of him needing to get the time just because of the role that he's going to be playing as tight end in that, and a little bit more blocking. So he needs that time, not him getting lumped in with the backups. But I am concerned that the production is not going to be there for Gesicki. So I wouldn't have taken him there. I would lean more towards, I like Gerald Everett right there. Dawson Knox, again, he's still a boom or bust player, but I would rather have that potential of the boom that I don't think that Mike Gesicki has as well. Pat Freiermuth as well, since we're seeing the quarterback situation in Pittsburgh from that preseason game was not looking as shaky as we thought it would be. It looks like they've got some viable options there that they're going to be able to pick from. So there's several guys that I would have taken.
Everybody, please donate if you haven't already. We'd really appreciate it. It could be anything. It'd be $5, $10, whatever, but we're trying to make a little bit of a dent here and get to our $10,000 goal to support St. Jude, which is obviously an amazing cause. So please donate. In fact, somebody asked, how much would it cost? How much of a donation to have you debate our 12-team draft order on camera for the league with the CBS group? I'll do that. I mean, whatever, man. Whatever you want to donate, just donate. Send me an email with the proof that you donated, and we'll put something together. We're happy to do that for St. Jude. Okay. All right, I'm going to get rid of our faces here so you can see the draft board. And are there any, Jamie, are there any exciting wide receivers left? I'll actually show the list of wide receivers. I'll get your rankings. And there you go. Chark, Watson, Osborne, Palmer. Anything that you think you'd be excited to draft right now?
I mean, I like taking chances on Osborne and Palmer just based on what they could be if there's an injury in front of them. So those are two that always intrigue me. Chark is, I think, depending on how long Jameson Williams is out, could surprise some people. Watson obviously is a wild card, So those guys at the top, right, I think are, certainly in play. And then, look, Mecole Hardman, I don't know if he's going to go away for the Chiefs, so why not take a flyer on him too?
Got some running backs here going Zamir White and Jamal Williams. Zamir White to Chris, Jamal Williams to Heath. Man, 148. Nice pick, Heath. Nice pick.
Thank you.
And don't really know if we have any real handcuffs here left. Do you think Benjamin is worth drafting?
We got two rounds left. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Although my wide receivers are so bad after my two of them. Yeah, I'll just take Benjamin. All right, Jamie's on the clock now. Let's go back to the live stream there, or the draft board. Okay, we're pretty much done with this draft. Couple more rounds to go.
Done with that guy.
And I'm finished with this guy. Did you draft, Jamie? Who'd you take?
Not yet.
Oh, Jamie is struggling. What's he going to do? KJ Osborne. Those are Jamie's rankings. We do have some tight ends left on the board. And Tara, you'll be up soon, so I will show your team here. And those are the players on the left are available. The players on the right are Tara's team. Another nice squad. Who are you looking at right now? You're in the hole, 3 picks away.
I was looking at Josh Palmer because I take a ridiculous amount of Josh Palmer in every single draft just because of the upside that he has there. Should Keenan Allen or Mike Williams go down? I'm on the clock now, and I do have one player queued up. I'm taking Tyrion Davis-Price. I did have Irv Smith queued up possibly as a potential backup technically to have more of a higher ceiling there with TJ Hawkinson as my number 1 tight end. But I think now's a good time to take Tyrion Davis-Price and see if you can take a stab at that San Francisco backfield, because we know there's so much volatility of it, and there's a chance that he could be something at some point during the season. So taking that stab is worth it to me.
I wonder if this is like the point whenever one of those guys goes, it's just going to start the San Francisco running back run.
Yeah.
Well, if Elijah Mitchell were to miss week 1, who would be your highest ranked guy if you had to rank him right now?
Jeff Wilson.
Yeah. We hear a lot about Trey Sermon, but I don't know how much you can truly buy into that.
Well, go ahead, take Jeff Wilson, Tara. Lock it up.
I can't. I'm gonna take Alec Pierce.
I don't know. I was just thinking, where did Russell Gage go? Russell Gage went with the 119th overall pick to Dave, second to last pick of round 10. And he went after Julio Jones, right? Yeah.
It was really something that Julio and Godwin were the 2 guys practicing today, and Evans and Gage are the 2 guys unable.
Yeah, true.
David Njoku to go with Irv Smith. Who do you guys like better, Njoku or Irv Smith?
Irv
Smith.
Yeah. I'm not drafting Njoku.
Oh, I'm so curious who Thomas Schaefer is. Oh, Ty Montgomery. Is he not in? Is he not in the database? Interesting. All right, Ty Montgomery is the pick, and I'm on the clock. Jamie took DJ Chark.
Good pick.
Who's my tight end? Oh, Ertz.
You want to take 3 quarterbacks?
Probably not.
I think Mayron should. He needs to take Tua.
Does he have Waddle and? No, he doesn't. I don't even remember who my last pick was. Oh, Benjamin.
Take Darrell Williams. You got it covered.
I'm going to take Dawson Knox. Do we have to do another round, Jamie?
Yeah.
Let's get some questions from the audience here, and let's get some donations, and let's go to our eBay store.
Oh, this is it. We're done.
Yeah, we're done. I was going to say, there's no more room on our rosters.
All right. So then real quick, I want to take a look at I'm just going to show some of the items on the eBay store are, and we'll finish with that. So if you want to donate and get something really cool, here's a look at our eBay store, and I'll show you the draft room in just a bit. But we've got
Hey, look, it's my face.
a spot in the Listeners League, $2,650. I announced the first round of your draft, a guest appearance on the show, $2,835. This is amazing. We're gonna raise so much money. Manage coaches team up to 362. We got pre-draft calls with experts from all around the industry. We got stuff from our other podcasts. Where's the Jamie Dave Heath pre-draft calls? Oh, a spot in the FBT Listener League up to 330. Dave Damashek. Oh, Scott Fishbowl spots. Yeah, let's go. Look at all this great stuff. Pete Prisco. That's it? $10 for a preseason call with Pete Prisco? Oh my gosh, Pete, that's pathetic. Come on, we got to get Pete moving up. I think there's going to be a new round of Jamie Dave and Heath. Look at that. Can we get a better headshot for Dan Schneier? He's up to $51. We're going to have a new round of Dave, Jamie, Heath pre-draft calls. Brinson's up to $76. All right, so we got some great stuff here. Put a link to that eBay store. This is what you want, right? You want a guest appearance on the podcast. Bring it on. Put a link to that eBay store in the chat, if you could, Thomas, and we'll just leave it up there. And let's take a look at our final draft board. Thankfully, there's no 15th round. And the last pick, Mr. Irrelevant, is Trevor Lawrence.
I feel so bad for Tua.
Why? He's going to be Jamie's quarterback by week 2. Just kidding. We like Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers is good. Aaron Rodgers is a solid quarterback. I'm
going to pick Tua up when I put Jameson Williams on the IR spot.
Any takeaways, Heath, from your draft, or from this draft?
It was good to see how far. I mean, I guess it'd be maybe more interesting to see how far Gibson would have fallen if I hadn't taken him. But it's interesting that he was available in round 7. I like it better when I have 3 wide receivers in the first 6 rounds.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
Do you regret not taking DJ Moore instead of Mark Andrews?
Let's see. No, I don't. Because I would have had to take Goddard in round 6 to get him. If Goddard had been there in round 7, then I think I probably would have.
It's funny that Heath, through the first 6 rounds, had 2 wide receivers. Jamie and I had 2 wide receivers through the first 5 rounds. Tara, though, took wide receivers in rounds 2, 3, and 4. So it was strange, I think, to see both Heath, Jamie, and myself, all 3 of us, kind of go light on wide receiver. Jamie, do you like how your team turned out?
I do, but I don't really love this build, but I like the players that I have. But I like Heath. I typically feel a little bit better when I have a more robust receiving core early.
Yeah. Yeah, we were just kind of taking what the board was giving us there. For me, it was either Sutton or Javonte in round 3. That kind of changed my whole draft. And then just look at that run of running backs in round 4. Breece Hall, Travis Etienne, David Montgomery, Ezekiel Elliott. Jamie and I just felt like that group was too good to pass up at that point. So That's fine.
I love Tara's first 4 picks.
Mixon, Lamb, Cooks, Allen Robinson. Your implication was that you don't like the rest of her picks.
No. But I love her first 4 picks.
Tara, how do you feel being the one who went more, not exactly the most wide receiver heavy, but you and 2 other teams started with 1 running back and 3 receivers?
Yeah, if I'm picking at the end of round 1 in a 3 receiver league, that's 9 times out of 10 how I'm going to start off with. And I feel like I got 3 really solid options there. I do see where I messed up, and I should have been looking at this draft board and I would have caught it. I should not have taken Elijah Moore right there. Tom Brady right there. I should not have taken Tom Brady right there because Rob didn't need a quarterback. I should have taken Ramondre Stevenson right there, been a little bit more solid at running back, and then I could have went ahead and went Tom Brady or TJ Hawkinson there. And yeah, I would have preferred to do that. But other than that, yeah, I like the start off right there.
But I think though, even with that scenario, if you were going to go with the 2 players that you ended up with, you had to take one of them early.
That's true. I would not have been able to get both Brady and Hawkinson. And
right.
It was interesting how far the value on Hawkinson fell. I think a lot of these tight ends, we saw it with Kittle too there. I had a tough decision going with Elijah Moore and not picking George Kittle right there because the value for a lot of these guys fell at tight end. So it was really interesting once we had that cutoff at Pitts at round 3.
Yeah, I George Kittle going in round 6 was just wild. All right, so that's pretty much it. One more team I want to talk about because he did get George Kittle, Schaefer. I like this team. What do you guys think about Schaefer's team? Najee Harris in round 1, then 4 receivers, then George Kittle. Devontae Adams, Michael Thomas, Terry McLaurin, Rashad Bateman, George Kittle. His other running backs, in addition to Najee Harris, are Dameon Pierce, Elijah Mitchell, Darrell Henderson, Mark Ingram. Yeah, I mean, I think he crushed it. What do you guys think? And he did that while having to update this draft board.
That is a potential beast of a situation at wide receiver if everything falls correctly for those first 4.
Well done, Shafee T.
Yeah, it's great.
All right. Thank you,
Especially
guys.
if Mitchell's healthy.
What'd you say?
If Elijah Mitchell's healthy, I mean.
Yeah. All right. We'll leave it with comments from Don.
Who could he have taken instead of Cousins, though?
Nazer sucks. Nazer just a host. Really great way. Look at your shirt. Look at your shirt, Don. The Yankees suck.
You know what I think you guys should do since you're both in the great state of New York? You guys should meet up somewhere and hash this out.
We should go to a Yankees game so I can boo them because they're pathetic. They've scored 1 run in their last 3 games. Wow. All right, we're out of here, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Here's what we look like. We'll talk to you on Wednesday morning.
He's been up this late since, I think, his teenage years.
Who, Heath? He fell asleep during my outro. He just woke up. All right, we'll talk to you tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern right here on YouTube with busts for the 2022 season.